Hey, Miss Allen, blessings to you. Hey, Mrs. Edna, blessings to y'all. Y'all are rolling on in here. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Okay, hold on 1 second here. How y'all doing today? I am doing all right. I am still this daylight savings time. I am still trying to adjust to the daylight saving time, you guys. I am trying to actually wake up a little bit. I'm glad to hear that you are doing good. I am so glad to hear that you are doing good. That's always a joy to hear. And so right now I am just now leaving the home for the home inspection. Um, I feel so many different ways if I can just be totally like transparent. I feel overwhelmed, but it was one of those moments where I kind of have started to understand why God is saying, listen, sell your furniture. Like, you need to sell it. It has started to make much more sense, but it's been overwhelming, to say the least. It was a bit frustrating this morning. I'll say that it was a bit frustrating this morning because they were rushing the inspector to do his job, because of a lack of communication or whatever the case may be. But it's been a good day so far. I wanted to just update you guys and let you guys know about that. As I was kind of dealing with those feelings of like being overwhelmed and just, overwhelmed about the how am I going to get this done, right? How is this going to play out? How will this work? I heard the Lord say three words to me. And what he said was, trust the process. What he told me was, trust the process. I'm going to say it again. What he told me was, trust the process. Trust the process. I think we all can attest to having those moments where, like, even though you can see what God is doing, you get overwhelmed with, like, how is it going to play out? How am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? And, many times, I know I do. I get overwhelmed sometimes. Just like some of y'all get overwhelmed, I get overwhelmed as well. But I heard the Lord say, trust the process. I'm in this. Trust the process because I'm in this. And I think that that's just a daily reminder not to worry about things, that are beyond your control. Because it's like at the end of the day, Lord, all I can do is follow your instructions, right? At the end of the day, all I can do is follow your instructions. And it's like, even, today, some of the things that like I was concerned about, like closing so fast, you know, it's burned. It's probably not going to be March 31st because I just honestly, I don't see them doing a good job and being done with everything, by then. And so it's like when you just trust the flow and versus trusting what you see, trusting how you feel, it's like it gives God the space and the time to confirm that there's really nothing for us to be concerned about. I pray that I'm making sense. I'm going to say that again. When you get to a point of just truly trusting God versus trusting how you feel, trusting what you see, like, it really brings you to a point. I pray that I'm making sense. It brings you to a point of giving God the space and the time to show you that half the things that overwhelm us and concern us are of no concern to God. I'm reminded, what was that, Lord? I am reminded that God is all the way in the details. Hold on, y'all. I'll say that again. I'm trying to be sure that this car did not crack my windshield. I heard a rock. But it's like today was a great reminder that, like, details overwhelm everybody. I don't care who you are. Details, especially of the new, overwhelm everyone. But it's like throughout this process, God has really just been showing me, like, that he's in on every single detail concerning our journey, concerning, the vision that he has given us for our lives, and not just financial. I mean, the vision that he's giving you for a place to work, the vision that he's giving you for, a business, whatever the vision is. I truly believe, that when you just take your mind off of the details, when you take your mind off of how you feel, that we get into a place where we can truly see that God is in on the details. Because it's like when you rush and, make decisions based off of how you feel, or like what you see, you make mistakes. I'm gonna say that again. Like when you make decisions, I think we've all had a moment of like making a choice, making a decision concerning something, in the heat of emotion, in the heat of, you just being afraid of what you see. And so you move rashly. It's like when you really think about it, like we really make mistakes. We make some of the biggest mistakes. We waste time, we waste money, we waste all of those other things. And it's like if we really like went according to like what we see and how we feel, like we would never ever get to the promised land. Hey Visha, I'm gonna say that again. If we always went according to like what we see and like, what we feel, we would never ever get to the promised land, because we would forever be like wasting resources, wasting time, wasting energy. We would be like a hamster on a wheel, running around and around on that wheel, going nowhere. Like seriously. And so it's like, this journey, even with the home process, has just taught me all of those valuable lessons. Like trust God with the details. Don't get in your head. Listen, don't get overwhelmed. Don't go by how you feel, what you see. Go according to like it's told you. Just follow him and try to be at peace. Sometimes being at peace is a lot harder than like people make it seem. Like you can tell a person to be at peace, with something that they're going through or battling with, or something that is overwhelming them. But it's an entirely different thing, when you're in a situation where you literally have to fight to keep peace. You have to fight, it's like we're fighting to remain close to God, to remain in faith, or whatever the case may be. And so, this process has really been a fight for me to keep peace, a fight for me to not be overwhelmed, a fight for me to maintain joy. It's literally been a fight in every single aspect of it. And I guess today was just one of those days where I'm like, Lord, I'm overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed, Father. Like, I love the house, but I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot to get done that they still have to do. It's a lot. But I also understood why God was saying, you need to sell this furniture. I know you don't want to, but you need to. You need to. It's not going to fit. You need to sell it. And so that's been so far, the day so far. I will say earlier, this morning, this was the first time I got so many spam messages about a sofa. I mean, it was so many when I woke up that I had to take the listing down. I'm like, maybe I didn't put it as local only, because it's people in Mexico. It's people talking about some, hey, just text this number. Somebody such and such want this couch and they'll buy it. I'm like, baby, I'm not texting nobody that I do not know. I'm not texting you. I'm not texting you until it is done. And so it's been a bit chaotic. Even with the dining room table, I'll say that I got an offer on it, and they they wanted to pay me $100 for my dining room table, and it costs like 1,100. I'm like, Lord, no, I'm not desperate to sell it. Like I'm really not desperate. I want it gone, but I'm not desperate. And so I feel like even in that, God has been testing me to see, like, are you willing to trust me? Miss Allen, I kid you not. The price is there. I said, hey, I'm open for negotiations, but please don't lowball me. Somebody's like, hey, will you take 150? I'm like, no, ma'am. You never thought I was gonna sell this table for 150. You never thought I was gonna do that. You never thought I was gonna sell $1,000 table for. You never thought. So it's been some hard no's. The sofa thing really tripped me out because I've never gotten spammed like that, even when I gave away my old sectional for free. I have not, I got, listen, it was so much spam, it made no sense. So much spam, it made no sense. You know, psychics, talking about, is this still available? I say, Lord, I'm taking this down. listen, I'm taking this down because this is too much. People in Mexico, people in other countries, people in Detroit. I'm just like, Lord, no, I'm not doing that. And so I took the sectional down for now because I saw that as God saying it ain't yet time. So don't just take it down. It ain't yet time. And so it's been interesting, to say the least. And I think that, him testing me to see if I'm desperate revolves around like the current things that like I'm believing God for. Like I need to pay my insurance. That's the thing that, and my car note. Those things are overdue. Like my insurance is pending cancellation. And so it's like, I've had to like maintain composure. And I think that honestly, that's like the greatest testing of a person's faith. When you have like a right now need and you're presented with opportunities to like settle, you're presented with opportunities to like lowball yourself, or whatever the case may be, or like abort mission. And so I've had a lot of those tests, to see if I'm desperate or will I stick to what God has said. And so it's definitely been a journey of just trusting God and showing him that I trust him in my no, but also in my yes, right? We show God that we trust him in both ways. When God says no to something or he gives us his standard, our faith is shown when we reject anything that comes short or falls short of God's standard. But at the same time, our like faith is shown in moments where God has said yes to something or he needs us to do something. Our faith is shown in our ability to like say, yes, God, I'll do that. Even if I don't want to do it, even if I feel a certain type of way, even if I'm flustered, even if I'm frustrated, I'll do it. So, these are like some things like I've been just experiencing today. Like the test, you'll know if it falls short of what God said. But not only that, like, is your yes a yes, even if God tells you to do something that you really don't want to do. And so, those are some things that I've experienced. And even I experienced a little bit of like shame. I believe God wants me to talk shame. Because sometimes, like even in the journey of faith, like I think for me it's a childhood trauma where, like I've had difficulties like telling like you guys what the goal is, what the ministry goal is, what I actually need. Kind of already asked earlier when it revolves around like him, right? And how, there's no such thing as needing God to do too much for you. There's no such thing as you asking too much, of God. And so he's been definitely dealing with me about that, like my car note and my car insurance. And so these are some of the things that this journey in itself has brought out, because I've never had to trust God on this level. And so it's like sometimes like when God stretches you and like it's like it requires more from you. It's like sometimes shame will set in, like, God, like I'm believing you for too much. And so I've noticed myself kind of rejecting being stretched um in that area. And so it's been a humbling experience. It's been so many different lessons, so many different revelations. And I'm actually right now, because God said so, I'm actually going to just look at furniture because I know now, like, Lord, even though I don't want to, I'm going to look. I'll look. And so that's kind of, where I've been. I don't really look at it as fun right now because it's like things that you will look at as fun. Like when you're being stretched, those things that you thought would be fun to do. Like I'm not a shopper anyway. It's overwhelming to me. And that's just me being very transparent. It's overwhelming. Because I already feel like I have so much to do. And now this just, in my opinion, it feels like God, maybe y'all have never had that happen, where it's like you already like, being stretched to the max. And then God adds something else. And then like it stretches you even more to the max. And so like that's kind of been like what I've been dealing with, like just being overwhelmed. Like God is so much, like it's just one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. Like, God, when does it stop? Because I need a break. And so that's kind of like what I've been dealing with. And so right now, um the goal of what I need to get everything settled today. I know I need to handle my car insurance. That's 152. Like it was due like the end of last month, the end of February, and it's just been by God's grace. But I know that I need that because I'm pulling my mortgage insurance through the same company, and so that goal is 152. That goal is 152. Like it needs to be done like ASAP. I have maybe 2 more days before it is all the way canceled. And so that is that goal for that. I want to say the total of that plus the car note brings me to like 833. Um, because I need the car note is past due to not by as long as the insurance. But I think I've been overwhelmed because I know like in the process, like you can't like be late on bills, because your lender can back out if you are late on things, and so different things like that. And so I want to say the total goal is 833 from what I remember. The total goal is 833. Anything else is just literally going towards food. I don't have I don't have any food in my house. It is gone. And so that is where we are. Any and all funds are just going towards what I tell you guys that they're going to. The car insurance for 152, and the rest is gonna be going towards my car note. From there, like that suffices like all of the major needs of what I have actually needed God to do. And so that is where we are. 833. I do ask that to those of you guys that are sewing, that you just label it paid in full. That you label it paid in full. And so I also think too a bit of what I'm dealing with is like toiling, and the recovery that it takes. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm burning up. The recovery, that it takes for toiling. Like yesterday was a very long day to get every single thing that I needed. Like it took a lot of energy out of me, so much to where I feel like I am still recovering. And I'm gonna be real, I didn't even want to go live today. Like it took a few hours for me to be receptive to going live, because it's like sometimes when you know the energy that it took to like get certain needs met, you know it's like it makes you dread, even outside of finances. Like when you understand like how much work went into something, the thought of doing it again, like it makes you cringe a little bit. It's like, oh God, I don't know if I have it in me. And so these are just kind of it feels like a lot. These are a lot of the emotions that I've been feeling so far, on this journey. And so that's it, you guys. That was what God wanted me to release. Trust the process. That is, for the most part, what I am trying my very best to do. But the right now need is just food. That's it. The right now need is literally just food. That is literally all that I need at this moment. I drank a protein shake earlier today. But I just literally need something to eat. And so that is where the immediate funds that come in, everything else will go towards that 833 goal. And so that's it, you guys. If for those of you guys that need prayer for anything or have a testimony, you guys can send, prayer requests to prayer.thoughtsbyt at gmail.com. But that is it. As funds come in, I will let you guys know where we are right now. I just need food. And so that's it, y'all. So until next time, y'all. Peace.